Yo, 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 it's your boy Nick from Intune ATL, and I'm sitting down with one of the hottest new artists out of Atlanta. Some of y'all may know her by MItaya, some of y'all may know her by Ass Cowboy, Little Hard Eyes. She is a drummer in Heart Heart, and she's a self-proclaimed CEO of Plug and B. How you doing?
I'm good.
Nice to meet you, and I'm happy to have you on today's episode. I want to start just kind of knowing what was growing up like in LJ and when you moved to Atlanta.
LJ was interesting. I grew up in like a trailer park there, so like didn't have a lot growing up, but there was a lot of like rednecks, and I feel like musically everyone was just making like bluegrass and country, and there was no one really making the type of music that I liked. And so when I was in high school, I got really into like Young Lean and like I guess like drinking type stuff, and that was kind of my gateway. But yeah, when I moved to Atlanta, I felt like so much more comfortable because there was actually people here who like shared the same interests as me. But I moved to Atlanta when I was 18.
Fire. Yeah, I think we share the same story in that because I'm from a smaller town, Warner
Right.
Robins, and I always felt kind of like an oddball there. I don't feel like people expressed their creative side or they weren't really invested in that. And so moving to the Kennesaw, like Atlanta area, that was just good for me. I was able to express myself. So
Right.
we definitely have that in common. How'd you get into music though?
So when I was like super young, I was always like singing. I was really into like Avril Lavigne and like other like I don't know, just like artists like that when I was younger. And so when I was like 13, my dad bought me like an acoustic guitar, and I just started like going on YouTube and like forcing myself to learn different songs. And then eventually, when I was in high school, I started like a series of bands, and just continued as I got older. And then with drums, I did marching band all through like high school. And so after marching band, one of my friends asked me to play drums in their band forever ago. And I just like taught myself and bought like a really shitty kit.
Yeah,
So
sick. So your first song that you uploaded on YouTube was "Swipe Right."
yeah.
How has your sound? How has your sound changed since then?
Okay, so back then I would say I still had a similar music taste. I was really into Plug and B,
Yeah.
but I had no connections with like the producers that I am like friends with now. And so my friend Curtis Waters like sent me just like a bunch of like bedroom pop sounding beats, and so I was just like working with what I had to work with at the time because that was like the beginning of COVID. I didn't really have like Ableton or anything like that. I was just recording on like GarageBand, and so I wasn't good at like producing by myself yet. But yeah, so that was definitely more like bedroom pop, and I
Yeah.
was like experimenting with like my voice, and it was weird because like I'm used to like recording all the instruments and like making like band music, so that was just like my intro to like stuff like that, I guess.
Cool. Are you a fan of dating apps still?
Low key, yeah, I'm on Hinge.
Okay. What's your go-to pickup line?
Um, okay, so it's weird. Like right now, I'm on Hinge and like I'll talk to people, but
Yeah.
I'm so bad at it and I don't have any time to date, so I don't really give it much attention. I just kind of have it there, and I'm hoping like in the future when I'm more free, I can actually start like being a fuckboy
Yeah.
again and like trying to date people.
That's
So,
real. That's real. I mean, life as a creative can be really tough.
right.
But what sparked the name change from Low Hard Eyes to Mataya?
So Brandon actually chose the name Little Hard Eyes for me forever ago. Uh, and like I think I just grew out of it. I thought Little Hard Eyes was cool, but it was like I felt like it was putting me in a box. And Mataya was a name that I thought was really cool, but it allowed me to like do more with genre and stuff like that.
Makes sense. Yeah. Sometimes like the whole little rapper
Yeah,
thing can get redundant. But
right.
as a creative, do you find it challenging to just like have you tried to be in a relationship before since you've been making music or?
Yeah, every relationship I've been in has been like difficult because I get really codependent, and then like I also find like it's hard to find like a partner who like supports my music career. And so I find like it's best for me to just stay single
Yeah.
while I'm doing music because I told myself I'll start dating again once my music does better. So like right now I'm just really focused on like growing my brand and like my followers and stuff, and getting more plays. And then once I'm at a point where like I'm making money off music, then I'll try dating again. But
Sure.
right now I'm just focusing on like building what I need to do to like ensure my stability as an artist in the future. And I can't do that when I have like a boyfriend. Or
Yeah,
a
I
girlfriend.
appreciate your hindsight. Like that's very vulnerable and real. I think I'm going through the same thing with my platform and what I'm trying to build. So I think that's something that most creatives can relate to more or less.
Right.
Walk me through the process of recording Falling, like your debut album, because I felt like that was kind of like my entry into you, but I thought it was a really solid project.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's definitely different than like the stuff I'm making right now. But so I released the album with a record label called Don't Be Greedy. And so they're like my friends, but they also they put out albums with like Six Dogs, with Tom the Mailman, with a bunch of producers from like working on Dying and stuff like that. But so I had access to all their producers when I was doing that, and so they were sending me a lot more like alternative like rock beats.
Sure.
And so I feel like the album, instead of leaning more towards plug and B, it was more like emo rap. And I still think it was amazing, but now moving forward, I really want to focus on like plug and B stuff. But recording wise, I would just listen to a pack of beats and then just like freestyle everything. So I record just by like punching in like whatever comes to my mind, just in my room.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super sick. Tongue Tied featuring Bear. I know that's like one of my favorite records on the
Right.
project. So how'd that song come about, and obviously like how'd you and Bear form your friendship that you guys have?
So I I mix and master all my music at my friend Jacqueline's house. And Jacqueline also mix and masters stuff for like Tony Snow, for Bear, for a lot of other like plug and B artists, and hyperpop artists. And so basically, just spending time there, like I would be mixing and then Bear would pull up and mix his songs, and we would just like overlap, and we became friends. And one day, I was there mixing that song and there was an open on it, and he just like hopped on. So it wasn't like planned or anything.
I feel like that's how the best songs come about,
Yeah.
though, you know. What's your favorite song on the record? Because I've obviously told you mine. I want to know, do you have one?
Mine is definitely Fall Through.
Okay. That's
It's like
really solid
just really
one.
pretty.
You shot a video for that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a solid track as well. What's the reception on the project been, though? Like, you feel like people have received it well?
It's been like overwhelmingly positive. It's been really good. I wish like I wish I had like a bigger fan base, because I feel like really proud of the songs that are on there. And so right now I just want to focus on like getting more people to hear it. But the people who are my fans like love the album so much. So
Most definitely. Well, I saw you perform it like top to bottom at 529
Right.
at your listening party. You did a great job. And,
Thank you.
I know you even opened up with your band, Heart Heart, who I want to get into later. But do you like performing, and do you get nervous when you perform?
I don't get nervous, but I think I have a dissociating problem when I'm on stage for sure. And so like my best friend Arlena was in like the front row. And she was literally like, anytime I started to like not look focused, she would be like standing there, she'd be like, dance. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I think my biggest problem is just like not knowing how to control the audience. When I'm with my band, it's different. I have like so much control and I feel fine. But like when I'm alone, I think I get like not even anxiety about it, but I just get like confused on what to do. I get like so focused on my voice that I'm not focusing on like my body movements and shit. So I need to work on that for sure.
For real, I feel that. I mean, that's probably something I was struggling with, if I'm being honest.
Right.
But I think it'll come with repetition, you know, as you have more gigs and things like that.
Right.
You'll probably start to develop it.
I'm not playing any shows right now just because I'm trying to like perfect my sound, and I want to like have like a full plug and B like set when I start playing shows again. So
Cool.
But yeah, once that happens, I really need to get better.
Yeah, well, we did touch on Heart Heart. So how did that band form?
So my friend Brandon is also friends with Aussie, who's in the band. And so Aussie just had like rotating members like in and out of the band. And she like messaged me because Brandon told her to. And I said yes immediately because I love playing drums and I'm really good at it. I just like haven't had a band to play for in forever. And so to get asked to play drums for like an all-girl band was like crazy. And like I really fuck with the music and it's really good.
Most definitely. Yeah, that's an awesome opportunity.
Right.
Do you play any other instruments or do you just play the drums right now?
I would say I'm the best at playing drums, but second to that is just like guitar. And then in my room, I'll just like fuck around with like bass and like piano and just whatever I have. I'm not super good at bass and piano, but like I use it to record all my songs, so I'm slowly like getting better. But I'm pretty like proficient in guitar.
Sweet. Yeah, I think I may have actually seen you do something earlier today.
Oh, really?
Or maybe it was yesterday, but you might have been doing something on like Instagram.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I don't know. But do you have any hidden talents that people don't know about? Because I feel like we kind of know you're a pretty talented musician, but
Hidden talents, I would say. I'm really good at drawing and like painting. And so like me and my uncles and my brothers are all like pretty good artists for some reason. Everybody on my mom's side is like super good at art. And so I just grew up like drawing. I also like screen print and I make like random crafty shit all the time. I don't know.
Do you think you would ever like design your own album cover or merch?
For sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I guess what was your your bandmates' reaction to going viral from Area on that TikTok that they made?
So that was just like super unexpected.
Yeah.
But we had just gotten to like New York. Like we got off the plane and we went to like Washington Square Park to smoke. We like went to a smoke shop and we were like, okay. And all these people kept walking up to us and we were getting hella annoyed.
Yeah.
And then like this dude had just tried to like get us to buy a Polaroid he took of us. And we were like, no, like we don't give a fuck. Please leave us alone. And then right after that, the Area dude walked up and he was like, do you make music? And we were like, oh my God, like what is happening?
Y'all been pestered all day.
Yeah.
Right?
And so when he did that, we were like surprised at first, but then like once he asked us that shit, like we all knew who it was. And so we were like, yo, this is happening. And so like 2 days later, we went viral.
That's
And
incredible.
it was so weird.
Remind me again who the artists that you mentioned were, like your sound was influenced by.
So my bandmate said Alex G and I said Lil Shine.
Yeah.
And Lil Shine is like this like 18-year-old plug-and-B artist who I'm like obsessed with right now. He's just like really good. And like he has a good balance of like rapping about like love, but also like really hard shit and like incorporating like really beautiful like instrumentals to his songs. I don't know. It sounds like majestic as fuck.
Yeah, and I feel like your love for him has kind of put me onto him. I definitely want to come back to
Yeah.
Lil Shine because I know you're putting on for him right now. But has virality put any unnecessary pressure on y'all, do you think?
Yeah. Because we had only been a band for a month before. And so then we went viral. And like immediately we were getting scouted by like all these different record labels, like Universal, Warner, Victor, Sony, like all the big ones hit us up and we went to all their offices and like toured.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to sign a deal with someone just because we went viral. Because it's like, I don't know, we wanted to sign a deal with someone who like genuinely fucks with us and who seems genuine. So we're still searching, but we are going to sign a deal this month, so.
Oh, y'all heard it first. That's
Yeah.
big. Well, your presence on TikTok is very steady, and I think that you use that as like a tool to build your following, which I really respect. So, would you say that's like your social media of choice right now?
For sure. TikTok is like the only social media with like a good algorithm besides like Twitter, but I deleted my Twitter just because I would just get on there and I would see like my friends liking like weird porn videos and then like just gore shit. And so I was like, I fucking hate like just logging on Twitter. So I deleted it because of that. And then but like TikTok, the algorithm is so great to where like you can post some random bullshit and look at your phone like an hour later and it'll have like 500,000 plays.
100%.
And so if you just post like 3 videos a day, one of them will go viral eventually.
I think you've cracked the code.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. But how surreal was it to be featured on the Travis Mills show? Because I saw that when you were in New York around that same time, you had an interview to promote your album. So how was that? And then how was like the rest of your New York experience?
I didn't know who Travis Mills was. I had no idea like what it was at all. My label was just like, you're gonna do this. And I was like, okay. So I did it. And then afterwards I was like, oh shit, that was actually a big deal.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And it definitely got my streams on Apple Music like a lot higher. But New York was really fun. We were only there for 4 days, but it was like nonstop like interview shit and then like touring labels and like meeting with like A&Rs, and for some reason all the A&Rs are like 14 years old.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like TikTok kids. Not actually, but they look like they're 14, and so it was like weird.
Welcome to the industry, I guess.
Right.
You know. But congrats on reaching 1 mil on Take Everything. So what was the inspiration behind that song?
So Aussie wrote that one, and we all have like our own songs in the band, but the only 2 we've recorded have been songs Aussie's made. But there are songs that I wrote, and me and Aussie switch, and I'll play guitar and sing, and she'll drum. But I think she wrote that song about like her boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just like a love song.
Super sick. Is there any like news on an upcoming Hard Heart project? Or is that in the works right now?
So we're either gonna do 2 EPs or 1 album. We're trying to decide, but a lot of songs are coming, and we've been recording like all month. So
what's like the ideal song list, like track list number?
I'm hoping like 6 or 7. It's not gonna be super long.
Yeah.
Maybe like 9 or 10.
Yeah, I feel like that's palatable, you know, for a first project. That'll give people kind of like an introduction into you. And
right.
Well, you've gone on record to credit Lil Shine as like one of your biggest musical inspirations. What's your favorite song by him?
My favorite Lil Shine song is probably, I have like 3. So I'd say like Daily Basis, or, oh my God, hold on. Let me go on Spotify real quick. I don't know why I like can't think right now because I'm on the spot.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Honestly, I'm the same way. And I was gonna ask you if you were an Apple Music or Spotify user. That's funny.
I definitely Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right, my favorite songs are... Oh my God, I clicked on like one of the wrong Lil Shine accounts. Okay, sorry. Truth Hurts, Daily Basis, or probably like Lovesick are my 3 favorites right now.
Yeah, I fuck with Lovesick for sure.
Yeah, it's so good.
If you could tell him anything right now, what would you say? You can look at
this is so funny. I would just say, keep making music and fuck anybody who like Lil Bros you, because like your music is so good.
Nice. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. What would a MItaya Lil Shine collab sound like?
It would probably sound so beautiful. I feel like if that ever happens, I would have to level up a little bit. I need to just like keep posting shit, and I'm making songs with like a couple people that he's friends with, like Lebanon, and then like I have a song coming out in a couple days with Texaco.
Fire. I like him.
So,
he's a good producer.
Yeah. Texaco's amazing. He's also super nice.
Really?
Yeah. And so, but the thing is, I've never like asked anybody for a feature except for when I did one with Lousy. Like all the people that I'm collabing with have like followed me and like DM'd me, or maybe I'll follow them, but they'll reach out to me first. Just because like I want people to like fuck with my music because they want to, and not because I'm like asking them for something. Yeah. So I just kind of wait till people message me.
I respect that, and I think in the industry it's a lot of like politicking, but it seems like you're kind of going about it in a more natural friendship kind of way, just letting it happen.
Exactly.
So that's good. And they can usually tell, you know, when an artist is a little too thirsty or too forward, but it seems like you're doing it the right way. And I really do like that song that you did with Lousy.
With Lousy.
Lousy, yeah, that was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. What are some of your other influences in music? I know you've said Pierre has been a big influence of yours, but...
Yeah, so I love Pierre Bourne so much, like as a producer and like a lyricist in general. And then, so I really fuck with Pierre Bourne. I fuck with Lil Shine. I fuck with, honestly, Baby Santana is really good too.
Hell yeah.
Like all the young like plug and B artists are like doing so good. I'm also on the spot. I'm struggling. There's so many like
list regardless.
Yeah. There's so many like good artists. Like Summers is amazing. I don't know, like I've always been tapped into Summers, but like this week when he got like jumped by like Homicide Gang.
I saw that. That was wild.
And his like response to that was so fucking funny, and it like actually made me even more of a fan.
He stood on business.
He like
You know,
changed his Spotify picture to like a Instagram live of him getting jumped.
I saw that.
And it's so fucking funny.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta do whatever. You know, you
Yeah.
can't run from it. I
Right.
mean, the shit happened, but he's handling it the right way for sure. Shout out to Summers. I'd love to hear a collab with you and
Yeah.
him.
Maybe one day. That would be crazy.
Definitely. Well, after this interview, maybe he might tap in.
Maybe. I was gonna say also, in addition to Plug and B, I really fuck with like scenecore. I don't know if
Okay.
like
I don't
it's
know
like
if I'm familiar with that.
it's like happy hardcore.
Okay.
But like Odatari and like Barely Human are like two amazing artists that I really fuck with. And so like moving forward, I'm trying to make more like dancey scenecore shit mixed with Plug and B. So like it's gonna be like dancey Plug and B, I guess.
Okay.
Which is gonna be weird, but it might work.
Yeah, I'm willing to hear that. That sounds really sick. So what would you say are some other mediums that inspire you to create? Because I know you're very tapped in with the music, but
Definitely movies.
okay.
So if I'm ever like uninspired, I'll just like scroll through whatever service and find a new movie to watch. And then like I'll just like turn off my phone and be like super focused and just like take on whatever emotion I feel from that.
Yeah.
Or I'll just like, I love writing. So I write in my journal like every day. And most of my songs are just about like shit that I write about in my journal. So
I love that. Seems very authentic to you.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite movie?
my favorite movie is probably Mysterious Skin by Greg Araki.
Big
It's
tap
like
in.
a super cult movie, but it's super good.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely have to write that down. So this is more of a personal question. What's your thoughts on like women in hip hop right now?
I think low key, like, sorry, my mom is texting me. I'm just making sure she's okay. But I think women are like killing it in hip hop right now.
I
Like
agree.
even my friend Anicia, she
Yeah.
like just blew up and like I don't know, like Pharrell followed her, Drake followed her,
Shout
like
out to Anicia, shout out Caribou, all the
Yeah.
women out in Atlanta. You know, y'all killing it right now.
right. And so I feel like women are about to like low key be running things for a second. Or at least that's what it seems like.
Most
Like
definitely.
Anicia, Ice Spice, like all the big ones.
Yeah,
So
no, that's real. I think you're up next too. So
thank you.
yeah,
Maybe.
I've always thought that you had cool style though. Like you definitely are an individual, and that's kind of why I think your draw is like your appeal in this industry. So, what are some of your favorite shops to visit in Atlanta? We kind of talked about this off record, but
Okay, so I have to shout out Outpost and Drugstore, obviously, because like they're some of my best friends,
Yeah.
and they have like really cool like vintage shirts and like just like really good casual like vintage wear. Aside from that, like I really just thrift. Like I
Yeah.
thrift most of my stuff, and then I go to Second Street a lot and like rag. I try to not spend money on clothes. I just like give them my old shit and get credit and buy new stuff.
we
But
love
yeah.
sustainability on this
Right.
platform for sure. How would you describe your personal style?
My personal style used to be way more leaning towards vintage. And so now I try to wear like one vintage item mixed with like some designer stuff.
Cool.
And so like right now, me and Brandon thrifted this together. This is just like an old like Harley shirt that I think
love
is
that.
cool. And then I have like True Religions and then like Rick Owens one.
Yeah.
But like just like little flair. But like I don't like really loud stuff, so I try to keep it very like minimalistic at the same time.
All right. So you kind of mentioned some of your favorite shops to visit in Atlanta. How would you describe your style personally?
So I would describe my style as like mainly like vintage with like a little bit of designer shit.
Yeah.
Like a little flair. So like me and Brandon thrifted this shirt. It's like vintage Harley Davidson. And then I have like True Religions, like some Ramones and like a BB belt on. So it's just like it's like emo, vintagey, like streetwear, I guess. I don't know. Just whatever I feel like wearing.
Cool.
Okay.
Is there anything that, I'm sorry, do you feel like you've been embraced by the city and its creative scene? Yeah. Do you feel like you've been embraced by the city and its creative scene?
Or ask the question before that again.
Okay.
Sorry.
What's a misconception that outsiders looking in may have about you that you'd like to clear up?
I feel like people will like see me on TikTok and assume that my music sucks. So I'll just say listen to it
Yeah.
because it's actually, I hope, pretty good. to most
TikTok can
people.
be so toxic.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've been embraced by the city and its creative scene?
I feel like to an extent, yeah. I feel like I have a lot of fans in Atlanta and like a lot of friends who support me. And so the weirdest thing was like last time I was in New York, somebody like recognized me and I thought that was really crazy.
Damn,
So
you're starting to take off out here.
like little by little, I hope. But yeah.
It's building. I'm witnessing it for
Right.
sure. Is there anything that you want to change about Atlanta and the creative scene?
It's super cliquey.
Yeah.
It's very cliquey. And also, trying to think. I just think there needs to be more like, I've never seen a plug and B show here at all, like solely plug and B besides like Tony Snow and like ATL Duncan or ATL Smook and 10K Duncan.
Yeah.
But I've only been to one like actual plug and B show here. And so it'd be cool if like people would start booking more of those. And also more
100%.
girls in plug and B. There's like none at all. So
100%. Shout them out. Who would you like to see like girl wise on the show?
I literally don't know any girl plug and B
No.
artists. I think I'm like the only one I know of. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, winding down, is there any artists that you can shout out real quick that you collaborate with or you want to collaborate with in Atlanta?
I would say Bear, Anicia, and then a lot of bands.
Cool.
Sword 2 is really good. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's next in store for Mitaya and as a solo artist and as a drummer for Hard Heart?
I'm gonna be releasing like a single every 2 weeks from now on, and then also I'm gonna build up to like a plug and B EP that I'm gonna drop. But yeah, I'm just gonna be dropping singles and EPs like literally like 4 songs a month.
Okay.
So
Was there any advice that you can give to like any aspiring musicians or creatives that might be watching this interview?
I would just say like be consistent, like post on TikTok and like literally any days off, like make a music video with your phone or like whatever you have. And just like don't listen to like anyone who says like your music sucks. Just keep on making music till it doesn't suck. And yeah, just keep going.
Definitely. Well, can you shout out your socials where people could follow you?
Yeah, so everything is going to be mitaya.wave, MITAYA.WAV.
Cool. And this has been Get In Tune with Mitaya.